And just like that, we're back. Welcome to the Dog Bowl Food Truck. What an episode. What an episode last time. Let's see if we can get through the rest of Leo's route without any more trauma being dragged out of me. Let's see, it's been a while since I recorded, so I think... Yeah, okay, so we were inside Kudzu's trailer after escaping Brian's trailer, so from one trailer to another. I shudder, hugging my body, then look around trying to find something else to focus on. A grouping of 3 picture frames on a small side table next to the love seat catches my attention. From where I'm sitting, I can see Kudzu in one of them, beaming at the camera. It's actually kind of weird to see him smiling like that. There's an arm around his neck, and I start to lean over a bit to see who it is. Here. Kudzu appears in front of me, again, holding out a glass of water. Why do we have quotation marks there? I straighten back up against the cushions. Once I take the glass, he holds out his other hand with 2 white pills resting in the back pad, or the black pad of his palm. Acetaminophen, if you're in pain. Man, I might have said this before, but I found out that I'm actually allergic to something inside acetaminophen. Whatever their active ingredients are messes with me, and I break out in hives. So I have to take ibuprofen. I definitely am. So I take it, hand the glass without a word, and swallow it down. For a second, my stomach sours, and I feel like it's gonna come back up, but only for a second. Kudzu steps back and watches me. Even though his face maintains its stoic, almost glare, I see his hands fidgeting together in front of his stomach. Oh, the little raccoon hands fidgeting. Oh my goodness. Yeah, which, by the way, little bit of advice: never take medicine on an empty stomach unless you're explicitly told to. A decent idea, from what I've understood, is if you're in a situation like this, is to offer them the pills and a slice of bread, or like a saltine or something like that. I nod weakly at a recliner across from me. You want to sit or something? Kudzu seems to consider, then walks over to the recliner. He sits on the very edge of the cushion, back rigid, continuing to stare at me. I take another sip of water, less this time, so as not to upset my stomach. Such a interesting predicament. Like, imagine being Kudzu in this situation, just taking one of your nightly walks and then just, oh shit! It's I'm sorry, it made me think of, like, Kudzu being in the game EnviroBear, if you remember that, where you're a bear that has to drive and, like, collect enough food to hibernate, but then it, like, combined with that stupid meme of, like, Asgore just driving in my car right after a beer, and except it's Brian driving, trying to run over Kudzu. That's awful. Oh. It looks like he wants to say something, but keeps silent, lips pressed together. Kudzu watches me the whole time. I wonder how hysteria is affecting Kudzu, if it's affecting Kudzu. Like... What's wrong? Kudzu opens his mouth, then closes it, thinking before opening it again. Are you... okay? Yeah, sort of. I mean, I'm not gonna die, I think. I'm not really sure if I am completely okay. Everything still feels numb. My thoughts feel sluggish too, and something that's nagging at the back of my mind since I got here suddenly bubbles up to the surface. Did you call the police? I absentmindedly reach for my phone in my pocket, but it's not there. I have no idea where it is at this point. Was it still at Leo's house? Oh, that's right, yeah. So Chase, remember, Chase had a head injury, and he doesn't remember everything clearly. Either that, or the writers forgot what happened on this route and are leaving holes, but I'm going to choose it's Chase not remembering everything clearly, because at first, when he woke up in Brian's trailer, he thought that he was at Leo's house when he blacked out, but remember he was at the diner instead. So now he doesn't remember that he had his phone at the diner, meaning it would never have been at Leo's house. There's a tight look of consternation on Kudzu's face. Oh, okay. Consternation, feeling of anxiety or dismay, typically at something unexpected. Okay. Phones aren't working. Even my landline isn't working. My foggy brain tries to process this. You know, that's actually a question I got. Could it be that, you know, like with Carl's route where they were just in his house the whole time, could it be that the phones are working? They just can't hear the person on the other side? What? Why did the phone lines break or something? Kudzu shakes his head. I don't know. Should we walk to my car or something and drive to Peyton? I look back out the pitch black windows. We need to tell someone right now. Janice and Leo's still out there. There's no way Janice hasn't been found by now. There should be police everywhere. Where are the cops? I turn back to Kudzu, feeling sick again. Kudzu doesn't say anything, and he's got a strange look on his face, like he's trying to figure out how to tell me something. Finally, he stands up. I'll figure something out. Listen, I think you need to get some rest. I frown. But we need to get someone out here. What if Brian comes after me? I shrink in on myself at the thought, feeling goosebumps erupt over my arms. Kudzu steps close to me and awkwardly reaches out to put a hand on my shoulder. You'll be fine. Do you want to lay down in my bed? I don't say anything. My head's still trying to catch up. It's a waterbed. I like Kudzu even more. I like Kudzu even more. Kudzu adds, as if that makes the offer more tempting. He thinks. You hungry? I have some muffins. It might help you get sleep. I shake my head. What? No, I want to get the fuck out of here. A loud pop makes me jump and I stand up. I'm not sure what I'm about to do, but Kudzu reaches out gently to hold on to me before pulling me away from the windows. Faintly, I hear some shouting outside, but it's far away. What was that? Is someone shooting? I look at Kudzu, starting to feel desperate. He puts an arm around me, at the same time moving towards the end of the trailer where a big bed is tucked in. I don't know. A lot of things are happening right now, so I think we should stay here to be safe, okay? For now, at least. I hold on to the raccoon, unsure of what to do. Listen. He holds me by both arms, and I look back at him. You gotta trust me that we can't leave right now. I'll explain it all, after you've rested for a bit. He pauses. I can tell you're not really here right now. Here right now? You'll feel better once you wake up. Alright? The thought of laying down is tempting, despite feeling like I'm going insane. If I sleep, I don't have to think, just blank my mind and rest. My head is buzzing, and I feel like laying down might straighten things out. Kudzu gently but firmly forces me to sit down on the bed. Despite his slender build, I can feel the strength in his lean muscles. Oh, please tell me more about those, Chase. But what about Brian and Duke? Kudzu slowly pushes me back down onto the bed, the water underneath the surface sloshing faintly. I haven't been on an actual waterbed for years. Carl used to have one, of course he did. God, I'm sorry. I can't talk about Carl right now. I'm feeling all flustered. I'm feeling all, like, slightly flustered because I found, I've yeah, found a picture of Macro Carl, uh, by Sizable Danger. And it's like, I already like Sizable Danger's art. So to see Carl being all macro, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Macro Echo. Things that I didn't know I wanted. Anyway. Where is Carl? Where is everyone? I want to go back to the motel and find my friends again, but Kudzu seems adamant on keeping me here. I got Leo's gun. Saw it on the ground when I went to check on you guys. He must be able to tell from the look on my face that I'm not at ease because he reaches out again to rest a hand on my chest. It's still awkward, but he's comforting at least. I'll be here all night. Nothing's gonna happen. That does make me feel better, at least. Well enough to maybe get some sleep. Okay. I stare at the ceiling as I lay back. I still feel numb, but in a way that helps me blank my mind. In what feels like less than a minute, I pass out. Oh boy, are we gonna get a chase dream sequence? Oh, here we go. I feel like if I keep walking along the train tracks, I'll be able to find my way out of here. I make sure to walk in the middle, using the planks like stepping stones. The steel rails on either side of me feel like some sort of barrier, a protection to whatever it is that's out there. I feel a presence in front of me, though a sort of pressure that builds as I continue to walk. You know what? Speaking of, I had mentioned this in Franbo about like a cool like side story about an animal that regenerates. That's a cool thought in my head. Is railroad tracks that fend off the Fae. So while you're walking down the railroad tracks, so long as you're in between the railroads, you're fine. But then one day, you know, like as you're walking, you look up and suddenly you realize there's a tree that sprouted up in between the railroad tracks that was not there before. So it's like, uh-oh. And then like I don't know, like a deer or like an elk made out of wood explodes out of the tree and starts chasing you. You know? I don't know. I like the surprise. We made it through the barrier sort of thing. Looking up, I can see that it's coming from that weird grove of trees that bunch up around the train yard. Something is crouched in front of that grove, staring at me from the trees. I keep walking, though, because for some reason I don't feel like I have anything to worry about as long as I stay on the tracks. I notice something else behind the hunched figure. a few bulky objects hanging from the trees. I know what they are before I can make them out. I keep staring at them as I draw closer, ignoring the thing that's watching me as I do, hearing it breathe as I pass it. Now I can see there are several bodies hanging from the trees. They're of all shapes and species. Some hang by their necks, other by a wrist or ankle. One of them passes me within a few feet, and I notice that it doesn't have legs. Both of them cut off at the thigh. It's a wolf, and he dangles by one of the stumps. Blood stains his dusty cream-colored pants and shirt all the way up to his face. As I pass him, he slowly turns on the rope, as if he's following my progress. I look down at the corpse's face, the mouth hanging open, eyes wide. It's like he wants to tell me something important. I could feel my body again, but it's numb and heavy. Okay. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense out of that random ass interlude that I pointed out in Carl's route, where it's just Chase crying and then he looks up and he sees the dead fox hanging there. Maybe that was a young Chase, because I think he did say he was younger in that thing. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe that was a young Chase, and maybe that was the first time whatever force this is took notice of Chase and took notice to the unique set of suffering that seems to revolve around the otter. Also, I'm looking at this picture. This picture is mirrored. See, it's pot, pot, fridge, fridge. You can even see the crease in the middle where it's been mirrored. That's weird. Slowly, I open my eyes and see the beige ceiling of Kudzu's trailer. I flick my eyes to the right and I see Kudzu there, but only his back. He seems frozen, like he's in a photo. He's not even breathing. I can't see the window very well from here, but from the small corner I see eyes. What the fuck was that? No, 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 no. I can't tell if that was like a face being formed out of this weird mirrored picture or if that was something else. So let's run that back. Okay, that might have just been like a weird face being formed out of the mirror. Because I swear to God, like, look at this. Okay, so like these two things on top of the fridge are the eyes, and then this hallway leading to the bed down the middle is like the muzzle, and then like the fridge themselves are like the cheeks. Look at this. You see that? You see that? When I wake up, Kudzu is next to me in the bed, his back to me, one of his ears folded under his head. Oh, buddy. No, don't do that. No, buddy. Having been with Leo for a few years, I know that can be pretty painful when you wake up. So I reach out and try to slowly adjust Kudzu's ear from under his head, but he immediately wakes up. He makes a funny snorting sound before suddenly jerking up halfway off the bed, looking back at me. I think I know the sound he's talking about because there's this. I'll play the GIF, but there's a video of like a dude who has this raccoon come flying up at him. Sorry, I was trying to fix your ear. Kudzu reaches up, poking at the ear. Ah, thanks. I notice on the bedside table that there's a small plate with what looks like a blueberry muffin on it. Kudzu notices and reaches out for it. Oh, oh my gosh, why he's side-eyeing? He's got that, gosh, it's not like a care or anything sort of expression. You want to eat? I, ate a couple earlier myself. I didn't realize how hungry I was. He lowers his ears. He's being very emotive, like expressive now. Still one left, though. My stomach is settled for the most part, so I take the plate from him. Thanks. Still dark outside, from what I can see. Did we sleep through the whole day? I realize that I've completely lost track of time. What time is it? Kudzu reaches over to the bedside table, grabbing his phone. 2:30 in the morning. I rub my face. Did we sleep through the day or something? No, you were asleep for like 2 hours. Really? I felt like it had been days since what happened at Brian's trailer. Yeah, I found you at around midnight. Kudzu turns nimbly on his rear, on the bed, facing me with his legs crossed. How are you feeling? I'm okay. Kudzu gives me a long, hard look. Nope, not gonna make the joke. Again, he has the expression of wanting to say something, but he's holding back. What is it? Kudzu lets out a breath. Listen, I'm not gonna ask what happened with Brian, but if you ever want to talk about it... Talking about Brian is the last thing I want to do, and I can feel the threat of violent shivers coming up my spine just thinking about him. Kudzu reaches out one of his black hands to rub at my shoulder. Awkward and comforting, as always. I've been through some stuff myself. Kudzu catches himself. Not saying that I know what you went through, but I know how it can feel having something really fucked up happen to you. I don't think I've seen Kudzu stumble over his words like this. I mean, I'm not trying to say that it's comparable if he, Kudzu trails off, seemingly stunned at his own lack of delicacy. For the first time since I left that trailer, I feel a little bit like laughing. I reach up to rub Kudzu's own arm, feeling like I need to comfort him now. No, it's fine, man. He didn't do anything like that, or at least not how you think he would. He watches me. I know he's not gonna ask, so I go on. He, has a thing for asphyxiation, I guess. Oh, jeez. Kudzu's eyes immediately go to my neck. I'm fine, it was just... creepy. Creepy definitely doesn't begin to describe it, but I don't think now's the time to go into details. I look out the window again, and aside from a few orange dots of light from faraway lampposts, it's black. So, can you tell me what's going on now? Kudzu runs a hand through his head fur, sighing heavily and looking out the window with me. You know what's funny? So I listen to a lot of, like, infidelity and, like, family drama and, like, truth off my chest type crap when I'm at work just because I'm bored a lot and it's something to listen to. And that's actually one of the biggest tells that a story is AI when it's, oh, he ran a finger through his hair, his fingers through his hair. I'm like, oh, god damn it, AI. Because for whatever reason, the AI seems to love that. Yeah, so now I'm kind of curious because with Carl's route, we spent the entirety inside his house. So I want to know more about what's going on out there, like what this hysteria is really doing to people. Sure, you don't want to wait until morning? I really don't think I'm going to be able to fall asleep again, honestly. Which, hang on, if it's 2:30 a.m., does that mean it's technically Sunday? Did we not get a day transition card? Hmm. Kudzu continues to stare out the window, and that's when I really start to wonder what it was that I missed. So, yesterday, about noon, is when I saw some weird stuff going on. Kudzu looks at me. Your friend TJ. He came kinda jogging up the road. My mind flashes back to when I saw TJ running past the diner. I hadn't had time to really figure out what he was doing before Duke barged in. He said something was after him. He said someone was after him, and that he needed to leave. He talked to you? Where is he? I feel the fur pricking up all over my body. The thought that TJ might be out there somewhere in the chaos is terrifying. How could someone like him survive that? I'm certainly doing a terrible job. Oh my god, the fucking foreshadowing. Somebody said somewhere that Leo's route is supposed to touch on everybody else's route. At least that was the original intent. Was that Leo's route nudges as to what's going on. So Carl sleeping in the crawl space, and now TJ running away from something, and like also TJ, the chase being like, oh, who died first in the zombie apocalypse? Glances at TJ. I don't know. He asked me if I had a car, but I don't. So he kept on up the road. Up the road? There's nothing past Kudzu's trailer aside from Carl's house, and that's over a mile away. But Carl doesn't have a car anymore. Maybe he's just staying with the Ram? I hope that's the case. And that would explain why Jenna was checking Carl's house on Carl's route, because TJ ran right towards where it would be. After he left, though, is when things really started going crazy. Kudzu shakes his head. You know Dale? Yeah? Dale is the only other otter in town now that my family has left. He was walking up the road with a fucking shotgun, pointing it around and stuff. Is that out of the ordinary for Dale? I want to get back to the topic of TJ. If he went up the road away from the town, we could still find him. But he was bleeding, had cuts on his leg, and jeans were all ripped up. Oh. But he knocked on my door. I didn't open it, but he yelled through it, saying there was a meeting in the center of town. What kind of meeting? A fucked up one. Apparently. Anyway, I went over to Leo's house to see if he was home. Then I saw the window. Kudzu rubs the back of his neck with his ears lowering. Obviously, I knew some bad shit had happened, but I had no way of knowing what. Anyway, I went to the town center hoping I'd see you two there, but just getting there was crazy. Kudzu looks back at me. Jeremy's house was burning, and Janice's house looked like it had been broken into. Jeremy's house? That was Jenna's house. Didn't run into anyone until I got to the townhouse. This whole thing is just getting bigger and bigger. While I'd been in Brian's trailer, everything had been falling apart outside. But why? What's going on? Kudzu shakes his head. I still don't know that, even after they told me. Who? The older guys. Mark and the mayor said something about this having happened before. That it was our turn or something. Our turn? What does that mean? Kudzu shakes his head again. I don't know. They just said it happened to their grandparents, that we had to be ready. Ready? Did they tell us what to do? Said to pray. Is that all they told you? Basically. Acted like there was nothing we can do about it, and, Kudzu pauses. What? They also said we can't leave, and showed us a body. Kudzu stops talking. I stare. Like a dead body? Kudzu swallows and nods. What is going on? I feel my voice rise in pitch, and Kudzu puts up his hands as if trying to quiet me down. I don't know, but there were weird cuts on the body. They said we can't leave because something out there will stop us if we try to leave town. I stare at Kudzu. Like a serial killer or something? They wouldn't say. They acted like it's a monster. Well then, they're lying, right? Kudzu is quiet for a moment, then shakes his head. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. There's a lot of pieces that might be clicking into place here. Because if past Kudzu's house, there's basically nothing, then that would mean whatever is keeping people in the town would theoretically be nearby. And that might be the warning dreams that Chase is getting. It kind of might be like Fear and Hunger 2, how, I know it's probably Perkele, but Perkle is funnier. So Perkle would, tell people that Termina is upon us in the dreams and whatnot. I don't know. There's a lot of things that are clicking into place, and like I said, this is where I really want to play all the routes, because more of the rules that are at play here begin to take shape. We're getting the vantage points. But with that, welcome to May Wolf. I guess. What am I saying? Welcome to May Wolf. May Wolf was last month. Maybe something happened. Maybe you should look at it. We'll have to find out. That's a problem for future Coco. I'm recording this in April. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good night, guys.